What's up, guys, and welcome back to the Little Scale Cars YouTube channel. Today, in the review box, we have a pretty cool one, I think. We have the Matchbox Maserati GranTurismo Folgore. Hopefully, I'm pronouncing that last part correctly. But this is new to the moving parts lineup for 2025. So let's see if it's going to be worth picking up and adding to your collections. Alright, so getting things started with our casting here. I can say right out of the gate, I don't have any qualms with the way it looks, the way the casting is proportioned or anything like that. Kind of try to pop the real-life car next to it as best I can there. And you can see that, yeah, it's pretty solid, like no real complaints there. So when we go ahead and break the casting down here, everything that you're going to see painted in this kind of brown color is going to be our die-cast metal body, which is the vast majority of the casting, as well as like all this little like grill spots and stuff. This is all going to be our main casting, even all the way. As a matter of fact, the only parts that you can see of the base is this little black section right up front, this little splitter, I guess you'd call it, and then just a bit of like exhaust diffuser-ish area there poking through. The rest of it is all like that die-cast body. So, you know, a lot of metal worked into this one, which I always think is good. All of our body lines are going to be replicated quite nicely, in my opinion. Our seams for our moving parts are not quite as subtle as I'd like them to be, but definitely not as bad as they sometimes can be. Those moving parts actually do function quite well as well. Matchbox did a good job as far as that area goes. The casting does receive mirrors, which came out pretty good, I think. All things considered, our casting, really, I don't have too much issue with. I think it was done very nicely. Moving to the paint and the deco. So this is the only release of the casting so far, and we get this kind of metal flake brown. When I say metal flake, I mean you can see it in here. It's got like some heavy silver almost kind of metal flake to it. Now this does replicate the real life car pretty well. Like there is a presentation scheme that was done in a very similar kind of color scheme, but it just seems a little bit too matte in my opinion. So that's a bit of a bummer. Hopefully some future color waves down the road will look a little bit nicer. Moving into our details. So starting up front, we do get two headlights. They are just tampos, and those tampos are sitting on this kind of matte paint, so they don't look amazing, but they are at least there, so that is a plus. Maserati logo right there looks good. Now, the grill section, like I said, is casted, and it has been painted and gotten a tampo of the logo right there. So that done very nicely. Big fan of how this looks. And then again, these extra little grills done quite nicely. They are tampoed across and look quite nice. Coming down to the sides here, we have a good wheel choice, I think. Can't really think of a wheel I would have rather had there that Matchbox offers. Now, this area here, you can see it's casted in for that detailing to be there, but this detailing gets no kind of tampo work, which is a big shame in my opinion. And yeah, that is definitely a disappointment. Maserati logo is casted in back here, but no kind of tampo work there. That is not a surprise though. Making our way to the rear, two taillights that look better than the headlights, so that is a plus. Maserati logo there, some license plate logo tampos. Then you get the GranTurismo kind of logo tampoed on as well as two little extra reflector lights. So as far as our detailing goes, as for a Matchbox at least, not too shabby. Interior is there, nothing too crazy though, nothing to write home about. Moving into the roll test, it's a Matchbox Moving Parts, so it should be no real surprise that it's going to roll, and it's going to roll very smoothly. That's always a big plus. Putting this one on the scale, it does come out to be 37.35 grams, so it has some decent heft to it, and that's probably attributed to that kind of hefty die-cast chunk that makes up the body. Moving into the pros and cons here, getting started with the pros. The biggest pro is that at the time of this, it is currently the only way to get a GranTurismo Folgore into your collection. Definitely the cheapest way that you'll probably ever be able to add this car to your collection. So that is pretty solid. The other big pro I'm going to give it is that the casting has been done well. As far as like the body lines being replicated and everything, I'm very, very happy with it, and I think it's a pretty solid job. When it comes to the cons, my initial thought for the cons was to kind of nitpick this color choice. But like I said, they did try to replicate one of the kind of presentation schemes of the car, so I can't fault it too much there, even though, again, like I said, I think it came off just a little bit too matte compared to the real life's car, which is kind of like a bronze almost. I don't know, slightly different, but I'm not going to fault it there. The con I am going to give it is the lack of any side tampos whatsoever. So these right here, the fact that this has been casted in, but we can't actually like see any tampo work over there, to me that is a disappointment, especially on the moving parts line, which we are kind of more accustomed to getting full tampo work on. For some really quick size comparisons here we have it with some other budget-friendly Maseratis that you might own, with the RMZ City Maserati GranTurismo over on your left, and the recently reviewed Maserati MC20 from Hot Wheels over here on your right. And here we have it with some premium Maseratis that you might have, with the BBR models Maserati MC20 over there on your left, and the DCT models Maserati GranTurismo MC Stradale over here on your right. So with all that out of the way, it is time to come up with an overall analysis here. The hype level, I would say, was decent, but not crazy. These are not typically too hard to find on the pegs. That's probably down to the color more than it is down to the actual casting itself. But I would say those who are excited for it, this has lived up to your expectations pretty nicely. For the value, these are going to run you about $3 at the local Target or Walmart, wherever you typically find your moving parts models. And for $3, I'm pretty happy with it. Even with that lack of side tampo on a $3 model, I'm not really complaining too much. I think that it was very solid value for your buck there. Community feedback on this one has been good. I think the color scheme is mainly everyone's biggest gripe with it. And yeah, it's just, you know, I see why they did it, but I don't necessarily think it was the best choice. So, with all that considered, would I recommend it? I absolutely would still recommend it, but I can absolutely totally see if you are wanting to wait and see what other decos come out down the line, like a blue, I think would look really, really nice. So, yeah, I do recommend grabbing this one. It is the first edition and everything, so it is worth the pickup in my opinion, just to have. But if you wanted to wait for other decos, yeah, I don't think that I could fault you for that one bit. It's really cool to see Maserati back in the Matchbox lineup, especially if they're going to be doing it this well. They can keep doing Maseratis. So with that, that will just about wrap up this review, guys. I hope you have enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you leave a like, subscribe if you are new, and don't forget to leave a comment telling me what your thoughts are on this particular model, and I will see you guys in the next video.